My great I am presence, I call on my higher self. My great I am, the love light of the infinite creator. I call on the archangels to create the container. I call on the higher selves of all those present. This is a communication, a transmission, a space of truth and learning, ascension, of love. So it is. So there have been a lot of solar flares. One. Apparently it builds up over an 11-year cycle until the sun shifts its magnetic poles, which it's getting ready to do. So we are really in funky territory energetically. And that can show up in your reality, as I'm sure you know. And it can feel like there is no direction. Like everything that you've worked towards, everything that you believed, everything that you wanted, just can't be. It's extreme test of faith. And for me, it's been a real test of sovereignty. Because everything outwardly, inwardly, is their own manifestation. So when it's challenged, so I got to a point where I was just like, oh, maybe I don't know what I want. Maybe that person is for me. All the signs that everything's saying so. Fuck that. I choose. I get dealt a hand of cards. I will play it the way I play it. And no amount of signs and synchronicities telling me otherwise is going to make me believe that I deserve to be treated like shit by, people who supposedly love me. 333. No amount of physical pain is going to make me believe that everything that I've worked really hard towards, health-wise, energy, faith-wise, has been for nothing. But I was so close. I was so close to slipping in. It's not the same asleep as before you have your awakening, because you're aware that you're awake, right? But it's so easy to slip into another form of sleep. Where you're just following signs and synchronicities and you're not making up your own fucking mind. 444. You're not taking responsibility for your life, for the co-creation. And yeah, some of the signs and synchronicities and some of the guides and that are actually trying to help us in the way that we perceive help. But some of them are playing the opposite. It's tricky because you're tricking yourself. These are us in the end. So what did I pull out? Thank you for all the relationships that didn't work out. Thank you for these people who have shown me where I have ignored red flags and chosen others over me. Thank you for showing me that there doesn't need to be a reason. If it's not right for me, it can't be right for them. Thank you for showing me what I do and don't want in my life, and for giving me the strength and the wisdom to give from my overflow, not an empty cup. Thank you for empowerment and sovereignty, Catherine. Are we doing another one? It doesn't matter what you do, just work hard. This was advice given to me in my 20s. Although I'm sure it was meant well, this was the tipping point. I gave up writing and art and worked myself into chronic fatigue, all for meaningless dead-end jobs. Now, with 15 to 20 years more life experience, I translate that advice differently. As a creative, it does matter. I need to create, and that gift must come from loving inspiration. But when I'm not feeling inspired and I've rested, there comes a time when I do need that advice. This is when we do file management, type up old notes, the hard graft. Yeah, I needed that. I haven't been feeling inspired at all, but I've been tired and not resting properly, so. Okay, this is the last one, Spirit. Sword of Truth, Dagger of Lies. And then it's got the I can feel your heartbeat. So in Ricky Iglesias and Nicole Scherzinger. Excuse my ignorance. All right. So definitely Archangel Michael. And you know, just because a video says Archangel Michael, it doesn't mean it's from Archangel Michael. And this is what I'm always saying on my channel. And I'm always practicing, but I mess up sometimes. You get all the signs and synchronicities. I was like, oh, wow, okay, this must be, I've got to really listen to this one. But if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. And the thing about lies and deceit is they coat the seed of what they're planting in truth, in things that feel right. You've got to be so aware of that little bit. It doesn't feel right. Pause the video, isolate it, and go, okay, that was a lie. I need to be careful. Don't just swallow it with the sugar. Don't swallow a sugar-coated pill. You know, sometimes we won't let them just shove the pill down our throat. So they're making it look like a sweet. And by they, I just mean those who are playing the opposite role. We all know this. We all know it's us in the end. But if we're in this video game, we've got to play it right. And there are always infinite do-overs. If we fail 11-11, a cycle, it'll just come around again. And that sounds exhausting from where I'm sitting. But if that's what I need as a soul to really understand an experience, a series of experiences or truths, cosmic truths, then it's probably best to just accept it. Sometimes we're not sure if we made the grade or not. Did I just level up 11:55? And that's why I'm feeling really uncomfortable, because I'm back in kindergarten, in the next level, in the next school. You know, I'm back in beginner's mindset again. But I made that grade, right? 222. Or did I not make it and I banged my head against a cliff, and that's why I feel so unwell? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it doesn't matter, because I'm where I need to be. Just makes all the struggle feel ludicrous. Alright, let's do some charms. Little combi van, little hippie van. So it's got star wheels. What does it represent to you? For me, it kind of represents a life of freedom, of excitement, of adventure. But it doesn't matter how you live your life, you're always going to get your tests. You know, you'll get that blown tire, you'll get that, excuse me, you'll get that, you know, that trucker that wants to play with you, you know, all those sort of things. Okay, so we've got the evil eye, spiritual protection, and this particular bracelet has a dragonfly on it. Transcendence. And also the dragonflies eat mosquito larvae, so I kind of think of that as any vampiric energies that are trying to latch on are going to be 1441. Just nipped in the bud, right? And then we've got, I feel like this is like a chest plate on it. This is Lego, like a chest plate on a cyborg or something, or it's a monitor. But what I can see in the middle there is a cross and a light, like maybe the moon. Maybe what's hidden is coming into your consciousness, into the Christ consciousness through this process. And we've got the little Lego handcuffs. They only hold a Lego person because a Lego person is rigid, I'm being told. If it was you and me, we could just jelly on out, right? Slide on out. If we're not going to be too rigid. And then we've got the skull. Obviously, the skull can represent death. Death, I'm not talking about someone's going to physically die. Death is about transformation also. So that would be the dragonfly. Ow. That with the dragonfly there is liberation. That is rebirth right there. And we have this pendant which has got a heart with a tree in it, like the tree of life, and it's also about family, children. reflections and the golden reflection, the Christ consciousness and the Metatron energy. And then we have the little baby pine cone, pineal gland, third eye activations. And yep, just split the deck to the dragonfly, which is number 25, and freedom. Oh wow, didn't I just, yeah, there's the dragonfly already on this. Yeah, 3 eyes, the third eye here, and these bubbles. That actually is reminding me of abalone right now, abalone shell. The grandmother energy or those particular shells might have significance to you. But this is a liberation from the emotions. You see how this is all water? And it's surging up. It's like really giving birth here. To freeing ourselves. Free your mind. Yeah, and then on the other side of the, or on the bottom, oh no, the bit that was just facing up, is number 17, awakened awareness. Reminds me of crown chakra. It's got the eye in there. Also a ruby. I've never realised it was a ruby before. Moonstone. Ruby and moonstone, because I've never read it that way, they might be significant for you. They might be something you want to work with. If you can't afford rubies and moonstones, you can use clear quartz to anchor that energy in. Yeah. It is not the messenger that is important. It is the message. It's a fool who looks to the hand that points to the sky. Yeah, I mean, I do that sometimes. I think about who it's significant, who sent me the message. Oh, was that dream about that person or whatever. But at the end of the day, everything's pointing back to sovereignty, back to ourselves, back to God. I'm not saying don't have relationships. Relationships are how we learn. Absolutely. And that's not just, I'm not just talking about intimate relationships. But when you're done, you're done. It's time to move on. Big, big changes. And seeing things that look like they're going wrong is actually opportunities. There's a butterfly outside my window. And you're here now. See the beauty in the here now. Something as beautiful as the sunlight coming through your curtains, coming through vines or leaves. Grace is free, but it's our choice. 2244. From a great iron presence, I call on grace, Elohim, light language transmission. Glory to God on high. Glory to all beings. Rest now. Bye, loves.